We have talked about how to amplify your gameplay, we've talked about strategy, but now we're talking about how to deluxify your LCGs. Hello and welcome to Nelson All Over Cards. Today we're taking a look into something that I'm actually really excited to talk about, and that's ways to kind of amplify the gaming experience through accessories. So this is not necessarily anything that's required to play the game. These are just cool ways to bring that gameplay up to the next level and enjoy. It helps me enjoy the games a lot because they're kind of fun. So we're going to be talking about 5 different accessories that I think bring that gameplay up to the next level of deluxification. Now, usually with these videos, I go least likely to most likely or worst to best. We're gonna flip that around today. We're gonna go best to least needed. And so starting out, the first thing that you should buy to amplify and deluxify your games are card sleeves. These sleeves help protect your cards. They help with shuffling. There's a lot of benefits to sleeves. But especially in the LCG sphere, or in any card game sphere, you are going to be handling these cards and shuffling these cards a lot. And especially in some of these games where there are cards that you use in almost every single game, or in every single game, like the standard set for Marvel Champions, after you use them for a while, they will start to wear and you will start to be able to tell the difference in those cards and other cards. I use Dragon Shield Clear matte sleeves for almost every single one of my games. I love the Dragon Shield Clear mattes. I'm going to have links down below to everything. If they are Amazon links, they are affiliate links, just in full transparency. That is a way that you can help support the channel, but just so you all know, those are affiliate links. So the Dragon Shield Clear Matte, I love. I've always said that those are the best when people ask. However, I don't have a lot of data to back that up. I've played with some Ultra Pros and a couple other like smaller brand sleeves, but of the, we're gonna just call them luxury sleeves, Dragon Shield was kind of the first and kind of what I leaned into. Now, I have been getting questions around what the best sleeve is, and so I wanted to have a better answer than just, this is what I use. So I just went through the Dunwich Legacy campaign where I use Katana sleeves, which is another really high level sleeve. I really enjoyed those. And then I am also procuring a couple other types of sleeves, and I'm going to be doing a video at some point in the future after I've had experience with all these different types of sleeves to kind of talk about them, which ones are the best, their downfalls, all of that good stuff. So if that interests you, go ahead and subscribe and then you'll get notified when that comes out. But sleeves are the first thing that you should be buying for these games, and I would argue are almost a necessity to be playing these games. Next up is a game mat. Now, game mats are great for organizing your play area, and also like they make it a lot easier to pick up cards, so they're going to protect your cards as well. So game mats are like what you're seeing on, I'm touching it like you can see it right now. Game mats are what you see my top-down views when I'm playing a game, kind of on the back. So like for Lord of the Rings, I have a map of Middle Earth. For Champions, I have Cap doing his like leading the Avengers, and then the Arkham one is the Starry Night Sky thing. Those are all third-party mats. I got the Arkham and Lord of the Rings from Etsy, again, links down below. And then the Marvel one, I actually got the image from Board Game Geek and had it printed at a website that does the printing. Those are the ones I did. I also have some of the official ones that FFG has put out. Those are, I think, a little bit harder to find now. I don't think that they're making those now, but then Gamegenic has some new ones coming out, which look pretty cool. And so there's a lot that you can choose from. But pick something that looks cool, that you like looking at, because it's going to be there when you're playing this game. But just to reiterate the highlights of the mat, 1, it makes it look cool, it can organize your play area, and 2, it makes it a lot easier to pick up your cards, which protects your cards and also leads to less frustration, at least in my experience in gameplay. Third, I am going with a catch-all and just saying storage. So I have an entire video on how I store Marvel Champions. The way that I store Arkham and Lord of the Rings is very, very similar to how I store Champions. You can check that video out, so I'm not going to do a huge deep dive on storage, but know that you store them in boxes. That can range from like cardboard boxes, which is what I do, all the way up to the coolest freaking stuff that I've ever seen, like wood engraved boxes that just look so deluxeified. Like, it is, there's some cool stuff out there, and what I really like is just finding a big one that can hold as much stuff as possible, just so you don't have multiple boxes all over the place. When you have everything in one spot, it leads or decreases your setup time, which increases your time to the table, and maybe you can get in that extra game. The dividers I use, a lot of them are just generic dividers that you can write on, but also Tesseract makes some really sweet stuff that is another way to organize. So you can, organization is a whole other game, right? There's playing LCGs, and then there's organizing LCGs. Those are two separate hobbies. 100% two separate hobbies. My fourth one, I'm calling token upgrades. So these are things that replace the original tokens in the game. Now, the original tokens in these games are good. They're very good. Brant from Step Into the Portal has played, I think he said 4,000 games, still using the tokens that he got in his core set. They hold up. But this is a video on how to deluxeify games. So let's talk about deluxeifying your game. So these are going to be tokens that replace those. And I use buy the same token. These are the little tokens like what I use for threat or damage or clues. All tokens that I use, except for my exhaust tokens that I use for Lord of the Rings and Arkham, are buy the same token. I think that they have a really awesome selection. They have some wide diversity. They have generic tokens, but also if you want to dive in and buy the Absorbing Man delay counters, you can go that deep and buy those too. But buy the same token is not your only option. The others that I know of are Team Covenant. They make some nice boards and tokens as well. Burger Token is also a system that I've seen that looks really nice. And then, you know, you could just use dice. I think dice work really well. I use dice when I'm playing off stream, when I just need to take it somewhere, because the tokens can be a little bit much to transport. The tokens also look a lot easy. The tokens are a lot easier to see, and so that's why I use them on stream. But dice work great. Like, right? I use red dice for health, blue dice for resources or whatever, and just use dice. Let dice be the counters. So there's like there is for the storage. There's anything from dice that you have laying around all the way up to buying buy the same tokens full portfolio and just having the coolest freaking collection around. And then last, I'm calling play organization. So these are going to be like the holders for cards. Like I have the Cityscape that I just got from Marvel Champions that holds the villain, the main scheme, environments, and side schemes and stuff. That kind of just organizes the table and just makes everything a little bit cleaner. That stands up, and so I lay it down so you can see it on stream. But that actually props up. They have little stands in it, so you can sit there and play, and it looks really cool all stood up. The hero board that I have for Marvel, the investigator boards that I have for Arkham, and I'll put pictures or whatever in here as like B-roll, so so you don't have to like go hunt for it. But those are really nice, however not very necessary. I like them. I think that they are very sweet, they're fun, but I would definitely buy the other things on this list before I go into that. So those are the 5 component upgrades that I suggest that you get for your LCGs. Did I miss any? Are there any component upgrades or any things that you like to do that deluxeify your gaming experience? Drop it in the comments. One of the coolest things about this hobby is how passionate people are, and then seeing the third-party stuff and everything that spawns from this game and how you can make it just an epic experience. People's creativity in some of these deluxeify components is absurd and so very cool. So let me know if you have something that you really like. Drop it in the comments because I'd love to take a look at it. Thank you all for hanging out. Hope this video helped a little bit. I'm sorry if it caused you to spend any money. So yeah, my bad. But anyways, until next time, go deluxeify some of your games, and I'll see you around.